Hey everybody, it's your friend Naomi, and I am finally back after a long time of being sick. I'm like, oh, hi. Now, I don't know if you know this, but it's Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna teach you how to make truffles. If you want more recipes, make sure to like and subscribe. So I hope you're hungry. We're about to get started. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so first I'm going to teach you how to make our truffle chocolate, since that takes the longest. You are going to use 2 parts of chocolate to 1 part of heavy cream or a dairy-free sub. And yes, you can do this with white chocolate as well, but it is way more fiddly and it sets up a lot quicker. Alright, so we are going to put our chocolate into a microwave-safe bowl or container. And we are going to put our heavy cream or dairy-free sub right on top of it. You go in the descriptions, I'll tell you exactly what I used today and exactly what I used for my white chocolate substitute. Now you will notice that instead of my KitchenAid, I have my microwave here. Yes, I know you never see it in my kitchen, but I do actually own one. It's usually off camera. And we're going to put the chocolate in 30-second increments on high. Now, regular chocolate in my microwave takes 1 minute and 30 seconds. White chocolate in my microwave takes about 1 minute. That's why you want to check it constantly. Your microwave will be unique to you. So don't go anywhere. Stay watching your chocolate. The difference between good chocolate and burnt chocolate is 5 seconds. Okay, so the first go, you're going to notice that the chips really don't melt very much. They might get a little bit warm. And this is pretty expected with microwave tempering. The white chocolate will be a little bit softer on this go. But you're going to mix it around and you're going to pop it back in for 30 more seconds. All right. You're going to stir it again. Now, depending on how warm your container is and depending on how powerful your microwave is, this might be sufficient. With white chocolate, I find it definitely seems to be. But with regular chocolate, semi-sweet, dark, you're probably going to need between another 10 seconds and another 30 seconds. Now, it is really important that not a drop of liquid get into this beyond the fatty cream while you're doing it, or your chocolate will seize and get really weird and gross. The idea is you want something smooth. Think Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory River, okay? But don't be Augustus Gloop. Do be Augustus Gloop. Drink it all. As you're mixing it, it will smooth out. You can see it's just that's been 1 minute in the microwave. So good. And most of the lumps are worked out. Now, if you don't mind your chocolate a little bit lumpy, I guess you could leave it, or you could pop it in for another 10 to 30 seconds. It's not quite hot enough. But remember, difference between good chocolate and burnt chocolate is about 5 seconds. And there is no coming back once it's burned. Okay, now at this point, you have a decision to make. You have several decisions to make. First of all, do I want plain chocolate or do I want to add a flavoring agent? And by flavoring agent, I mean you could add something like a spice, like cinnamon, or my favorite, chipotle chili pepper powder. Or you could add a component like an extract. Now if you're adding the chipotle pepper, it's going to have to be the taste, but I'd say no more than a half teaspoon. And same thing with the extract. You could add any flavor. I've got peppermint here, but you could go for raspberry or Grand Marnier or brandy or whatever you want. For me, like I said, this is my favorite. A little chipotle pepper in there. Just a couple sprinkles. It puts an indefinable something in there. I just mix it in. Oh gosh, I love it. I know people who do a little bit of lavender or a little bit of bergamot. I mean, there's all kinds of flavors you could do. I will, in my recipe on my site, I will go ahead and give you my favorite, and then you go ahead and tell me in the comments what you like as far as flavors go. But raspberry, Grand Marnier, and chipotle are my three favorites. Now at this point, you need to let this cool so it can thicken and be scooped. And the thinner that you spread it, the quicker it will thicken. If you spread it into a pie pan or a small baking pan, it'll take you about 30 minutes in the fridge for it to form into a ganache that you can spoon. If you leave it in the original Tupperware, it might take longer, but you'll have less dishes. So you do you. I did some earlier, so we'll have some to check out that's in a pie pan. You don't really have to be fancy here. This is going in the fridge, that is going in the sink, and I'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes, and I am going to take the truffles out of the fridge, and I'm going to show you what they look like. I'm going to show you how to make and roll them. Now I'm going to warn you, it's about to get messy. Okay, so as you can see, after about 30 minutes, the mixture is thick, okay? Nothing is sticking to my hands on the surface. It's shiny, it's delicious. We're going to set that aside, and we're going to pull out things that we want to top or cover the truffle. I have got chocolate sprinkles, I've got a combination of cinnamon and cocoa, and I've got curled chocolate that we're going to use for the demo. And you're also going to want something to keep the truffles from being sticky once they're rolled. I like these cute little cupcake liners. I have this cute little 1 ounce cookie scoop, and it makes it really convenient. So you're going to scoop an ounce of chocolate out. You can see it turns into a nice little ball, and you're going to choose your topping, and you're just going to roll it around until it's coated. Now, depending on what the topping is, you might need to push it a little bit. So my little chocolate all sorts need a little bit of an extra roll just to stick in. Pop those in. Go to the next one. I think I'll put them in the cinnamon and cocoa because that's so nice with the chipotle. Even if it's just that little bit of garnish. And I like to do several different types of garnish. If you roll them in your hands, you might want to use a little bit of cocoa to keep it from sticking. Otherwise, you're going to get a nice, sticky, kind of nasty fingers. So either put your hands in gloves, keep a little cocoa on hand to keep it from sticking, or just have a wet washcloth on the side. You know how I feel about textures, right? Don't like them. All right. See? Chocolate curls. You could use powdered sugar if you want. Basically anything you want. This recipe is going to make 18. I think I told you that. And if you let them sit out for, I would say, at least 10 minutes to let the coating dry off a little bit in the air, then they're a lot easier to handle. You can transfer them to your box or your little gift container much easier, especially, gonna keep it real, if you use the little cupcake liners. All right, and you will just keep going until they're all done. So, thank you. Also, if you think that this recipe was great and you want to say thank you, feel free to buy me a cup of coffee. Links in the description below. And tell me what you'd like to see next. I will do my best to fulfill your requests. And don't forget, I love you. Bye. I just lost my train of thought. I can't. I don't remember anything.